Nigeria exports cocoa. Nigeria exports cashew. Nigeria exports sesame. Nigeria exports ginger. Nigeria exports palm oil. Every year, ships leave Nigerian ports filled with containers of raw agricultural commodities. They travel across oceans to Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. There, those same crops are processed, refined, packaged, branded, and sold at many times their original value. The farmer plants the seed. The farmer harvests the crop, but the real wealth is created elsewhere. This is the paradox of abundance. Nigeria is blessed with fertile land, a favorable climate, and millions of hard-working farmers. In states like Ondo, Osun, Ekiti, and Cross River, cocoa farms stretch across vast landscapes. In Kogi and Oyo, cashew orchards thrive. In Kano and other northern states, sesame fields sway under the sun. Nigeria consistently ranks among the world's top producers of cocoa. It is a major global supplier of cashew and sesame. Yet despite this production strength, more than 80% of Nigeria's agricultural exports leave the country in raw form. Raw cocoa beans, unprocessed cashew nuts, bulk sesame seeds. Once exported, these crops enter foreign factories. They are roasted, ground, refined, flavored, packaged, certified, branded, and distributed worldwide. A ton of raw cocoa may sell for a few $1,000s, but when transformed into chocolate, that same ton can generate several times more in revenue. The global chocolate industry is worth well over $100 billion annually, yet Nigeria captures only a small fraction of that value. The difference between exporting crops and exporting finished goods is the difference between survival income and generational wealth. This is where value addition becomes transformative. Value addition means moving beyond raw production. It means building processing plants close to farms. It means turning cocoa beans into cocoa butter, cocoa powder, and chocolate bars. It means shelling, roasting, and packaging cashew nuts into premium snack brands. It means extracting sesame oil and refining it into export-ready products. It means capturing the margins that once disappeared overseas. Countries that barely grow cocoa dominate the global chocolate market. Brands built in Europe generate billions using African raw materials. The lesson is clear. The true profit in agriculture lies not only in growing, but in transforming. Nigeria now stands at a critical crossroads. Will it continue exporting raw commodities and importing finished products at premium prices? Or will it build industrial ecosystems that convert agricultural strength into manufacturing power? The concept of agro-export hubs offers a pathway forward. Imagine integrated processing zones located near cocoa-producing regions. Instead of loading raw beans into shipping containers, local facilities ferment, grind, and refine them into finished or semi-finished products. Chocolate manufacturing lines operate within the same region where cocoa is grown. Finished goods are packaged under Nigerian brands and shipped directly to international markets. In cashew-producing states, modern processing centers shell and roast nuts at scale. Instead of bulk exports, branded Nigerian cashew snacks appear on supermarket shelves in London, Dubai, and Singapore. Each step along the value chain multiplies wealth. Farmers earn more stable demand. Processors create skilled jobs. Packaging companies expand. Logistics networks strengthen. Brand owners capture recurring profits. Wealth compounds instead of leaking outward. The infrastructure to support this shift is gradually emerging. Ports are expanding capacity. Free trade zones offer regulatory incentives. Continental trade agreements are opening access to African markets, numbering over 1 billion consumers. But infrastructure alone is not enough. Consistency and quality control are essential. Global markets demand strict certification standards. Traceability, hygiene, and packaging quality determine pricing power. Building a competitive export industry requires training, food scientists, engineers, logistics experts, and brand strategists. It requires thinking beyond commodities and embracing identity. A Nigerian chocolate brand must tell a story of origin, of ethical sourcing, of premium quality. Cashew products must meet international packaging standards. Sesame oil must align with cosmetic and food safety certifications. This is how raw crops become global brands. The financial model is equally important. Nigeria receives billions of dollars annually in diaspora remittances. Much of this capital supports households and real estate. But if even a fraction were channeled into agro-processing investments, it could fund factories, cold storage systems, and export logistics infrastructure. Development finance institutions can provide catalytic funding. Private equity can scale successful processors. Public policy can incentivize domestic refining instead of raw export. The opportunity is immense. Instead of exporting cocoa at base commodity prices, Nigeria could become a leading exporter of premium chocolate products. Instead of selling raw cashew to foreign processors, it could build internationally recognized snack brands. Instead of bulk sesame shipments, it could develop refined oil products for food and cosmetic industries. Each transformation adds layers of revenue, employment, and industrial knowledge. Of course, the road is not without obstacles. Power supply instability increases operational costs. Logistics bottlenecks reduce efficiency. Policy inconsistency can discourage long-term investment. Foreign exchange volatility complicates equipment imports. But these are structural challenges, not impossibilities. Solar-powered industrial clusters can stabilize energy supply. Processing hubs can be strategically located near farms to reduce transportation costs. Long-term policy commitments can reassure investors. Every industrialized nation once faced similar decisions. At some point, they chose to move up the value chain. Nigeria's moment has arrived. The world's demand for food products is not shrinking. Health-conscious consumers seek organic cocoa, plant-based snacks, and ethically sourced ingredients. Global populations continue to grow. Markets in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia are expanding. Nigeria already has what the world needs. The question is whether it will sell ingredients or finished wealth. From cocoa to capital, from farm to factory, from export to empire. Industrial transformation begins with a mindset shift. Agriculture is not just about farming, it is about manufacturing. It is about branding. It is about global positioning. When a cocoa farmer in Ondo harvests a pod, that moment should not represent the end of Nigeria's economic participation. It should represent the beginning of a chain of value creation that ends with the Nigerian product on a global shelf. That is how wealth is built. That is how jobs multiply. That is how nations rise. Nigeria does not lack land. It does not lack farmers. It does not lack global demand. What it must build is value. Because the future of Nigerian prosperity will not be determined by how much it exports, but by how much it transforms. And when transformation becomes policy, discipline, and culture, raw crops become capital. This is the revolution waiting to happen.
The Diaspora project